In September 1972, a group of Palestinian militants infiltrated the Olympic Games in Munich. Storming the Israeli compound, they killed 2 athletes and took 9 more hostage as the world watched on in horror. One Day in September revisits these tense and tragic events as they unfolded.
The Munich Olympic Games were the first major sporting event which was broadcast live by satellite. One of the things that fascinated me about the story was the role of the media.
I'm Jim McKay speaking to you live at this moment from ABC headquarters, Munich, West Germany. The Olympics of Serenity have become the one thing the Germans didn't want them to be, the Olympics of terror.
This moment-by-moment coverage of the crisis, as it built towards its bloody conclusion, formed the building blocks of McDonald's documentary.
One Day in September is an interesting documentary because it straddles the line, between documentary and fictional filmmaking. Not necessarily because it played with the facts, but simply because the mood of it was one of a thriller.
We tried to make it something much more cinematic, something that would work on the big screen. We paid a lot of attention to the visual side of it. We paid a lot of attention to the sound design and that kind of thing. Most importantly, probably, in feeding the narrative out in a way which made it exciting and sort of edge-of-your-seat experience to watch.
To complement the archive, McDonald conducted interviews with those affected by the tragedy, but his most astonishing achievement was gaining access to the one surviving terrorist, Jamal al-Gashey.
He wanted to talk, he wanted to explain why he had done what he'd done.
عملية ميونخ خدمت القضية الفلسطينية بشكل كبير كويس. إنه كان كل العالم ما كان يعرف، معظم العالم ما كان يعرف عن القضية الفلسطينية.
As a young man, he'd been incredibly handsome. There was something about his charisma when you saw in the old film and the old photographs of him that you really felt, wow, this guy is heroic. And that maybe could be a little bit disturbing. He felt like a movie star. When One Day in September came out, it was quite controversial. It was controversial with everybody who was depicted in the film. The Germans, it was controversial with the Israelis, and it was controversial with the Palestinians. I think it's impossible to make a film about the Arab-Israeli situation, about the Jewish-German history, without being in some way political.